All right, so we had to make a second video. We had contractors and wholesalers showing up here at the house. So picking up where I left off, this is looks to appear to be a party line. Several individuals use this, and then eventually it'll work its way to the city. Primarily, interestingly enough, the most locations that I've ever found a party line to be present happens to be in Clifton, which I'm not sure that this is considered Clifton per se, but we are very close to that. Things were kind of like the Wild West in the early stages of plumbing. They didn't really know what they were doing, if I'm being fair, and they were just kind of winging it. And so this now comes with some complications. The city sometimes just takes ownership of these, and they go, hey, we'll just take care of whatever because we don't have any documentation that this was really not set up the right way in the first place. But the weird thing here is that trying to kind of make a determination of where the handoff becomes a homeowner problem versus a city problem, and also just sometimes I show these things to the city or to clients, and they just have no understanding of what to do. And they have to kind of create a plan because maybe this sewer line has maybe not even been scoped or identified on a map or things of that nature. I'm not saying that's the case with this. I'm just telling you the complications that sometimes comes with that. So from my advantage point, from the point that I entered into this pipe in the direction in which I believe that it went, somewhere around 30 to 35 feet, maybe 40, gets me to the front foundation wall. From that point, then we are talking about, getting out into the yard, going through the driveway, things of that nature. So at this point, we are outside of the house. So subjectory that, this portion of the pipe is not our problem. I could be wrong about the location of this as well. Because of that quick jog at the beginning, I kind of wonder if maybe it took a jog to the outside of the house and then ran down the side of the house instead of underneath the floor. But nonetheless, we're going to continue moving forward here for just a moment. And I kind of want to scope this to the point where I think hey, at least we know it's not on this property anymore, which I'm guesstimating around 70, 80 foot. So a little bit more roots here. Getting dirtied up, unfortunately. So we can ride this out and see if we can find a dance of water again. I'm just looking for some water at this point. Oh, I know you can't see very well, but we're getting into PVC, which illustrates to me that it is going to drop into the city. Bam, there's water. We get this thing danced off. Hang tight with me here. I'm just trying to get it cleaned up. So this is the main. As I said, I thought there was a chance that it would eventually continue to keep flowing. And then there's our main connection at 95 feet. We pull back. And now I have even more kind of a suspicion that maybe this sewer line is flowing down the right side of the property. If you're standing in the street looking at the house, right side of property, flowing down the side of the property. And maybe some of these other lines that are coming into this are coming from behind the house, kind of like a private lateral running through the side yard, or maybe an easement between where a house was removed next door and our retaining wall over there. So my biggest question here is that, okay, I've identified a few issues within the pipe with needs for repairs to cracks. Nothing catastrophic, nothing that needs to be urgently looked into. But at the same time, we have to have a little bit of a conversation with the city to narrow down who's responsible for what areas. From that point, of course, then we have a conversation of, okay, well, is some of the places that I'm identifying, are those areas that are my problem, or is that the city's problem? In putting together a plan from that point moving forward to make a determination on how much it's going to cost and things of that nature. So a little bit more homework that's going to be needed here. Again, like I said, when you deal with a house of this age in this area, a lot of times I tell people to ask for plot plans, which is basically an aerial view that kind of shows the layout of the sewers. But at this age, a lot of them don't have plot plans. You could ask. There's no doubt, asking's free. And that sometimes kind of narrows in and kind of shows you the layout of what your sewer looks like, how it connects to the street, if it's a party line. But if there is no documentation, like I said, you have to kind of work your way back through it. And maybe even have the city kind of come out here and scope it, maybe reverse scope it from the street back up into here, things of that nature. So kind of work through the problem and see what you get.